Nation, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Let's continue on. Top of the hour, you're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin. Breaking news today, Attorney General Sessions, Jeff Sessions, will testify in public tomorrow in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee as the multiple investigations into ties between Russia and Trump associates are moving forward. This comes after questions swirl after the sworn testimony from former FBI Director James Comey that the president made the Attorney General leave the room before he suggested Comey let go of the investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Comey saying he went to intervene, wanted Sessions to intervene, but Sessions did not. The White House responded moments ago to whether or not Jeff Sessions may invoke executive privilege tomorrow.
When Jeff Sessions testifies tomorrow, do you believe that he should invoke executive privilege on conversations between himself and the president as it relates to Jim Comey?
I think it depends on the scope of the questions, and it would be to get into a hypothetical at this point would be premature.
And in any way, did Jeff Sessions, folks at the DOJ, ask for the White House's permission, in essence, for him to testify publicly tomorrow?
I don't know the answer to that question. I know Congress, generally speaking, sets the whether a hearing is open or closed based on the sensitivity of the subject.
Is the president then okay with him testifying in this open setting tomorrow?
I think he's going to testify. We're aware of it, and go from there.
With me now, Crystal Liza, CNN politics reporter and editor-at-large. Michael Moore, former U.S. attorney representing the Middle District of Georgia. He also fired acting Attorney General Sally Yates and her interim AG Dana Bente. Also, Gloria Borger is with us, CNN chief political analyst. So, Gloria, let's just begin with the "it depends" note from Sean Spicer. Specifically, let me pull up my note on whether or not Jeff Sessions will invoke executive privilege. It depends, says Sean Spicer. What's your interpretation?
Well, and he said it depends. It depends on the questions, and I don't know whether this has been a topic of discussion over there, or whether Sean is speaking from knowledge, having spoken with Sessions, or whether Sessions has spoken with the president about what he intends to do. But it seems to me that there are going to be lots of difficult questions that are asked, because don't forget, the president, number one, is already upset at Sessions, and the Congress is wondering whether he perjured himself. And so if he takes it question by question, I think it will be very telling to us which questions he might decide to say, I can't discuss it, because it involves a conversation with the president. And that may be about Jim Comey getting fired, right?
It's on the executive privilege, just so we understand. Actually, forgive me, we're going to pull away from that. Here is the President of the United States welcoming the 2016 NCAA Football National Champions, the Clemson Tigers, to the White House.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I'm truly proud to welcome to the White House our college football playoff national champions, the Clemson Tigers. And they look like the real deal, don't they? Congratulations to all of you and to your terrific coach. And you know who that is, right? Do we love him? Dabo Swinney. What a great job. I was with Coach Belichick. He said, this guy's a real coach. That's a pretty good compliment, right? You can't do better than that. Congratulations, Coach. You have many dedicated fans and admirers here today to celebrate your victory, including many distinguished members of Congress, lots of them. I especially want to thank your Governor, Henry McMaster, my friend, my endorser. Don't forget, he endorsed me when it wasn't exactly in vogue to do that, so I remember. Right, Henry? And thank you, Henry, and everybody for joining us today. Clemson Tigers, you gave America an incredible game that will go down in the record books as one of the hardest fought and probably one of the most exciting games ever played. Last second, boom. That's pretty good, Coach. Good job, Coach. All of you played with such tremendous heart and determination. You never, ever gave up. You can never give up in life. And it all paid off. With your grit and resolve, you proved one of the most important truths in life, that success is about how hard you are willing to fight in order to overcome and in order to win. After being down 14-0, I don't think the coach was worried. Were you worried? Yeah, probably. A little bit. About a little bit, Coach, maybe. You're down 14-0 almost halfway through the game. Like true Tigers, Clemson roared back, and with the whole nation watching and beyond the nation, Deshaun Watson, going to be a great NFL player, watch. Where's Deshaun? Get over here, come here. Hey, fellas, is he that good? Tell me. You better believe it. He's going to be fantastic. He passed the ball to Hunter Renfrow. Where's Hunter? Yeah, Hunter. Oh, Hunter, you're so lucky you caught that ball. To score the game-winning touchdown with just 1 second left on the clock. That's pretty cool. There was an inspirational finish to a historic season for Clemson. The team willed their victory, and you willed it. That was a victory that was willed. Arnold Palmer, they used to say, great champion, he would will a victory. Jack Nicklaus, he would will a victory. The great champions tend to do that. This team will their whole way to victory. You came so incredibly close last year against Alabama. You don't remember that game, Coach, do you? Huh? Well, you'll never forget. Huh? And you wanted the rematch, and you got the rematch, and you went on, and you earned it. You beat great teams like Florida State, Ohio State, and, of course, your big rival, South Carolina. You believed in yourselves, you believed in each other, and you won a championship victory for the ages. It's one of the greatest games I ever watched, actually. People are going to be talking about what you did for a very, very long time. That victory and the great comeback was the product of a vision that began 9 years ago when Coach Sweeney assembled a team of assistant coaches who believed in his vision. They recruited great, great players, and together you worked hard, had fun, and turned Clemson football into a winning machine. That's what it is. The Tigers have gone an astonishing 89-28. How'd you lose 28 games, Coach? Huh? That was the early seasons, right? Most of them were in the early, while you were building. Under the coach's leadership, he helped forge a new culture at Clemson. It was on display in the locker room right after the big game. The coach recalled how he told the team that the theme of the college football playoffs this year is chasing greatness. He told them nobody's better than us, and we've got to believe it. It's great. Tell yourself that. Nobody's better. You chased greatness, and now you've achieved true greatness. I understand that on the inside of your championship ring, there's a tiger climbing upwards, and it says, little extra, just a little extra. That's often the difference between winning and losing, just a little extra, right, Coach? Is that right? And by the way, standing next to the coach is another winner, your El Presidente, Jim Clements. That's another winner, I'll tell you that. We don't talk about Jim too much, but number one, he made a lot of good decisions. Number two, what people don't realize about Clemson, it's a great academic school, one of the top 25. So, and as a combination, probably number one. Great job, Jim. That's how Clemson achieved great things, when you set an expectation of maximum effort and a culture of confidence from the top. You inspire every person to perform at their very, very best. And that is exactly what you have done. More Tigers this year than ever before. 9 of you went to the NFL Scouting Combine, and 2 of you were drafted in the first round. That's pretty good. But during that championship game, all of you shined, every single one. Offensive MVP quarterback Deshaun Watson took some very, very hard hits, but he never rattled. He's great under pressure. I've seen that. I've heard that. He's great under pressure. That's a good thing to be. He is great under pressure. He always got right back up, and he fought, and he fought, and he kept winning. Now he'll bring that toughness together to the Houston Texans, and I have the owners of the Texans here someplace. We just saw them, and they are so excited about Deshaun. Defensive tackles. Carlos Watkins had an incredible game, and he'll be joining Deshaun in Houston. I'm going to be watching that team very closely. Nobody can read plays like defensive MVP Ben Bulwer. Where's Ben? Carlos, get up here, Carlos.
All right, President Trump having some fun today there with the Clemson Tigers coming up from South Carolina. They won the big game last year. It's been 35 years since the Clemson football team won its first national championship back in 1981.